Your dog is asleep on the couch. You walk into the room, sit down beside them, and without even opening their eyes, they shift their whole body so that one paw is resting on your leg. They don't look at you. They don't ask for anything. They just move closer. You're making dinner. Your dog isn't begging. They're not staring at the food. They're lying on the kitchen floor, 3 feet behind you, watching your back. Every time you step left, they adjust. You didn't ask them to come. They just appeared, like they always do. You wake up in the middle of the night. The house is quiet. And there, pressed against your feet at the bottom of the bed, is your dog, dead asleep, but there, close enough to feel. These all look like the same thing, but they're not the same thing at all. Science has spent decades studying the bond between dogs and humans. And what researchers keep finding isn't what most people expect. These small daily moments. The paw on your leg, the shadow that follows you from room to room, the body pressed against yours in the dark, are not just habits or coincidences. They are a language. Once your dog has been speaking every single day, and once you learn to speak it back, something in your relationship shifts permanently. Start with the quietest one. You're sitting at your desk, working. Your dog walks in, circles once, lies down at your feet, and sighs. That's it. No drama, no demand. You barely notice it's happened. What you just witnessed was an act of deliberate emotional proximity. Your dog chose you over every other room in the house. Over their bed. Over the sunny spot by the window. They picked the floor beside your chair. In 2015, Miho Nagasawa and her colleagues at Asabu University published a study in the journal Science. They measured oxytocin levels, the neurochemical associated with bonding and trust, in both dogs and their owners during interactions. What they found was that mutual gazing between dogs and humans triggered a significant rise in oxytocin in both species, mirroring the exact hormonal loop that occurs between human parents and their infants. What they found was that this wasn't a trained behavior. It was a biological response, a feedback loop of connection that your dog actively seeks and sustains. So when your dog lies down beside you and sighs, they are not bored. They are not waiting for something better. That quiet, unremarkable moment, is your dog's nervous system choosing to regulate beside yours? You know this one. You're across the room, and your dog just looks at you. Not a focused stare. Not a working dog scanning for a command. Just a soft, relaxed gaze that lingers for a second or two, before they look away. You catch it and smile. They look away. A moment later, they look back again. That exchange has a name. Researchers call it referential gazing, and it is one of the most studied social behaviors in the domestic dog. It functions as a check-in. Your dog is monitoring your emotional state, your attention, and your availability. In 2009, Julianne Kaminsky and her team at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology published research in the journal Animal Behavior, examining how dogs use human social cues. What they found was that dogs are uniquely sensitive to human attention in ways that even our closest primate relatives are not. Dogs specifically seek out human eye contact as a social bonding signal, not merely as a tool to get food. Here is the counterintuitive part. Your dog makes eye contact with you most often when they do not need anything from you. Not when they're hungry. Not when they want to go outside. They do it simply to confirm that you're still there. That you're still theirs. When your dog glances up at you from across the room for no apparent reason, they are not waiting for a cue. They are telling you something. Go back further. Before training, before selective breeding, before dogs slept in houses at the ends of our beds, there were wolves. And wolves are social animals built around one irreducible truth: survival depends on the group. Proximity to a trusted companion is not comfort. It is safe. It is life. Over thousands of years of domestication, dogs have not lost this. What they have done is transfer it. The pack became the family. The alpha became you. And the ancient impulse to stay close, to monitor, to touch, all of it remained. It just changed its target. In 2010, Brian Hare and his colleagues at Duke University's Canine Cognition Center published research in the journal Current Biology, examining the evolution of social cognition in domestic dogs. They studied how dogs, wolves, and human children responded to social cognitive tasks. What they found was that dogs have independently evolved a set of social skills that are uniquely calibrated for reading and responding to human beings, not because they were taught, but because over thousands of years, dogs who were good at bonding with humans simply survived better. This is not loyalty as a personality trait. This is loyalty written into biology. When your dog presses against your legs during a thunderstorm, when they follow you from room to room, when they rest a chin on your knee for no reason at all, these are not quirks. These are echoes of something older than any breed, any training method, any trend. They are the architecture of a species, shaped entirely around loving yours. There's a distinction buried in all of this that changes everything about how you respond, and almost nobody makes it. There is a version of closeness seeking that is warm, calm, and freely chosen. Your dog follows you into the kitchen, lies down, watches you, then walks off to nap somewhere else. They seek proximity when it suits them. They settle easily when you're not available. They can be in a different room, and not panic. This is secure attachment. It is healthy. It is exactly what a well-bonded dog looks like. Then there is a version that is urgent, escalating, and impossible to interrupt. Your dog cannot settle at all unless they are physically touching you. They pace when you leave the room. They cannot relax, even when you're home. The closeness never seems to be enough. Research on canine separation anxiety, including work published by Alexandra Horowitz at the Horowitz Dog Cognition Lab at Barnard College, makes clear that these two things require completely different responses. The first needs to be met and appreciated. The second needs a structured desensitization protocol, not more reassurance. Giving more closeness to a dog in genuine distress does not soothe them. It confirms that their anxiety was justified. If your dog's need for closeness has become relentless, if they are unable to settle even briefly, if they stop eating when you're gone, if they become destructive, vocalize continuously, or show physical symptoms like shaking, panting, or excessive salivation when separated, something more is happening beneath the surface. Pay attention to changes in frequency and intensity over time, especially if the behavior has shifted suddenly after a life change, a house move, a new baby, or even a new routine. That is no longer something attention or daily connection can address on its own. That needs a veterinarian, and soon. Go back to the beginning. Your dog is asleep on the couch, shifting without waking to rest a paw on your leg. You thought that was just a reflex. A habit. Something dogs do. It isn't. That touch is their nervous system reaching for yours. It is 5,000 years of coevolution, landing in one quiet moment, on a Tuesday afternoon. The dog watching your back while you cook dinner, they are not bored. They are doing what their ancestors did for the people who mattered most. They are keeping you in sight. They are keeping you safe, in the only way they know how. And the one pressed against your feet at 2 in the morning, they are not crowding you. They chose, out of every place they could have been, to be exactly where you are. Not because they were trained to. Not because there was nowhere else. Because in the oldest part of what they are, you are the place that feels like home. You don't have to do anything extraordinary to love your dog well. You just have to notice what they're already saying. Because every single day, without fail, your dog is telling you the same thing. You just needed to learn the word. If this changed how you see your dog, sharing it might do the same for someone else. More videos like this come out regularly, and each one goes a little deeper into the science behind why your dog does what they do. Next time, we're getting into something completely different. And the psychology behind it is stranger than you'd expect.